Dear students, in today's session we will be discussing four disease conditions, and one is bronchitis, the second is bronchiolitis, and we will be discussing about empyema and emphysema. So these four disease conditions, usually it can be asked of like differentiation between bronchitis and bronchiolitis, and also emphysema and empyema. So these type of questions can be asked from this area, and also you can be asked to write the short notes or any essay or anything from these parts. So these four topics together we will be discussing in today's sessions. So first we can see bronchitis. So it is the inflammation. So bronchitis, it's the inflammation. So it is happening in the primary or secondary bronchi. So bronchi are the large airways comparing to bronchioles, and this bronchi is involved and it is inflamed in bronchitis. So bronchitis, it is the inflammation of the large airways, and when we are telling, it can be extended like trachea and bronchi can be involved, because when we are talking about airway, this is a continuous passage, and limiting to one area is very difficult when inflammation is happening. So this inflammation of the large airway, we can say trachea and bronchi, it is named as bronchitis, and usually it is associated with upper respiratory tract infection. Already in the last class we have seen another upper respiratory tract infection, croup, and now it is also another upper respiratory tract infection. Regarding the etiology, viral agents are the primary cause of bronchitis also. Mycobacterium pneumonia is a common cause in children older than 6 years. So for elder babies or elder children, Mycobacterium pneumonia can be another reason for bronchitis. And when you are observing, the bronchitis may be occurring not only with any infection. If we traveled a lot, or we exposed to some chemical pollutants or dust, then also we cough. So that triggering also can be the triggers, may be infectious agents or non-infectious agents. So bronchitis can occur because of non-infectious agents like smoking, inhalation of chemical pollutants, or dust. So that is another triggering factors for bronchitis, like infectious agents like virus or bacteria, and also there are other non-infectious agents also which is responsible for getting this bronchitis. When you are discussing about the pathophysiology, we have to understand two important factors which is playing role in pathophysiology of acute bronchitis. So the first one is inflammation of the bronchi and trachea can lead to an increased volume of lower respiratory tract secretions. So when the upper airway like trachea and bronchi is inflamed, this leads to the production of mucus and other secretions, and that will be oozing, or that will be coming back to lower respiratory tract. So from bronchi and trachea, it will be coming down to the bronchiolar level or to the lower respiratory area. So that is the increased volume of lower respiratory tract secretions. This will be happening. So that is one point. And the second one is cartilaginous support of the reactive portions of the lower respiratory tract is not fully developed until the adolescent years, and the lack of cartilaginous support of the smooth muscle can result in constriction of the lower airway. സോ വലിച്ചു പിടിക്കാനുള്ള കഴിവ്, അതായത് ആൽവിയോളേനെയും അതേപോലെ തന്നെ ബ്രോങ്കിയോൾസിനെയെല്ലാം വലിച്ചു പിടിക്കാനുള്ള ആ ഒരു കഴിവ്, ഇറ്റ് വിൽ ബി ഡെവലപ്പിംഗ് ബൈ അഡോളസെൻ്റ് ഇയേഴ്സ്. Okay, so this cartilaginous support, if it is losing and the smooth muscle control is not there adequately, when something is happening, the secretions are coming down, it will happen this constriction of the lower airway. So when there is this inflammation in children, there will be constriction than adults. So because of that, more amount of complications like decreased oxygenation can happen comparing to adults with the same condition. So this is very important when you are talking about the pathophysiology of acute bronchitis. So the problem is because of first one, volume increase in the lower respiratory tract secretion. So it will be accumulated in the lower airway. Again, hypoxia will be occurring because of the poor ventilation at the alveolar or other lower respiratory area. The second is it become constricted, lower airways become constricted because of the poor or lack of cartilaginous support which is necessary and which leads to the constriction of the smooth muscle and the constriction of the airway. So these are the important things. So these are the reasons why in bronchitis the child will be having hypoxia and other respiratory difficulties. So clear? So even the upper airway is constricted, inflamed, the lower airway is also affected easily because of this inflammation. So this is about the pathophysiology of bronchitis. Next we can see the clinical features. So symptoms include coughing up extra mucus, sometimes with blood. So it is very painful coughing can be there, like barking type of cough can be there, and the very extra mucus will be there, and sometimes it can contain blood also. Then inflammation of the bronchi, that is branches of the airway below the trachea, can be there. Then swelling, edema of the bronchial walls can be noticed. Blockage of the alveoli because of the increased secretion and also the constriction of the smooth muscles and airways. Wheezing can be the difficulty of breathing. Blocked or runny nose may be associated with bronchitis of some causes, but not is part of it. Some amount blocking can be there in some conditions. So management bronchitis, we will be very much experienced about this bronchitis. It is actually a self-limiting disease like any other viral infection. So only supportive treatment is required. If there is fever, we can give administration of antipyretics. And if we suspect if we suspect any bacterial infection, or if you want to prevent the superadded infection with the bacteria, we can administer antibiotic. Next is the bronchodilators. Bronchodilators can be there. And next is the steroids. And steroids is to reduce the inflammation and the obstruction in the bronchial or tracheal level. And humidity will be working majority conditions by increasing the diameter, or we can increase the diameter, or we can decrease the constriction by using humidified air also. So these are the management of bronchitis. So hope you understood. So till now we discussed about the bronchitis. It is a major airway, that is upper airway inflammation, and it is mainly involved in the tracheal and bronchial levels. Primary and secondary bronchi also can be involved, and main reason is virus, and Mycobacterium pneumoniae is another cause of this. Pathophysiology, when you are discussing, we have to understand two important things, like it is the cartilaginous support will be poor till adolescent, and that's why again the constriction of the airway, lower airway can be happen, leads to decreased perfusion of oxygen by the blood. And the second is the second pathophysiological change what we expect is increased volume of lower respiratory secretions when the upper airway is inflamed because of this oozing of mucus from the top to bottom. And management, clinical manifestations we have seen, and regarding the management. So thank you very much. We will continue in the next video.